In the corner booth of a small roadside diner, a disabled black veteran named Marcus quietly sipped his coffee, hoping to get through breakfast without drawing attention. His worn jacket still bore the faded patches of his service, and his cane rested beside him like a silent reminder of the battles he'd fought overseas. But not everyone saw honor when they looked at him. A group of loud young men at a nearby table began mocking him, whispering comments that grew bolder with each passing minute. They snickered about his limp, mocked his scars, and questioned what someone like him was doing in a place where hardworking people came to eat. Marcus tried to ignore them, but their words cut deeper than any wound he had received in combat. The waitress looked uncomfortable but too afraid to intervene, and the other customers stared down at their plates. Just when the laughter grew loud enough to fill the diner, the front door opened with a sharp jingle, and in walked a tall Navy officer in full uniform, a colonel whose presence commanded instant respect. Without saying a word, he scanned the room, immediately noticing the tense atmosphere and Marcus sitting alone. The colonel walked straight to Marcus's table, stopped, and raised his hand in a pointed salute. The diner fell silent. The young men who had been bullying Marcus shifted uneasily, suddenly aware that someone with authority and with a stronger sense of honor was watching. Marcus, startled, slowly returned the salute, his eyes filling with a pride he hadn't felt in years. The colonel then placed his cover on the table, pulled out his wallet, and quietly paid for Marcus's meal along with every item on the bully's bill. He didn't speak a single word, but the message was deafening. Respect is earned through courage, not cruelty. After paying, he turned toward the young men and simply held their gaze. A calm, steady stare that made their smirks dissolve into shame. They lowered their heads, realizing how foolish they looked in front of someone who understood sacrifice on a level they could never imagine. The colonel then guided Marcus to his feet, offering an arm as support, and together they walked out of the diner while the room watched in humbled silence. Outside, the colonel finally spoke, his voice low and steady. "You're not alone, soldier." Marcus nodded, grateful beyond words, knowing that in a world that often tried to belittle him, there were still people who understood the weight of service and the value of dignity. Sometimes the loudest defense doesn't come from words, but from someone willing to stand beside you when it matters most.